Hi everybody, it's us again. It's Sam and also Denny and George, and we have along as a guest Guy, the Guy O'Malley, to join us today talking about side by side with a friend. Um, so we're doing another list review. Going to talk about a little bit about the tournament and about what people are going to bring to it. But we thought we'd start off before we get into that with just a bit of a recap of the recent Battle of the Five Regions that all of you attended and loved and had a great time at. And did you win? Who knows? We'll find out. So I'm going to pass over quickly to Denny Thor, I believe he's calling himself, to tell us a bit more about how that went.
Can I just quickly applaud you on your first presentation slide here, Sam?
Hey, thanks very much, George. It means lots.
It's beautiful.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for that.
Hey, thanks, guys. Took me a long time.
Yeah. I mean, Sam, you said everyone attended, but I'm sure all the other people watching this podcast may not have attended, like Harry.
We know you're out there.
Harry. Maybe he did. I don't know. He could have been there.
Shout out to Harry.
Shout out to Harry.
All right. Yeah, no, so a couple of weeks ago, we did our New Zealand teams event, Battle of the Five Regions. 24 players, 6 teams. A great time was had by all, or so I'm told.
That's true.
So just a recap of that. Just a recap of that. There was each team had 4 players, 2 good armies and 2 evil armies. Without further ado, the winner of that tournament was insert name here. I never got a name for the team, but it was the great Middle-earth players Sam, George, Guy, and Dom. 3 of which, the better of the team's members, are on this chat today. So well done, guys.
It's quite nice to have 3 winners in the chat, isn't it? And 1
extra person. Yeah, Denny's here too.
Yeah,
we couldn't have done it without Denny. Yeah,
we couldn't. That's true. Round of applause, Denny.
Yeah. Just a recap of those. That was the Corsairs list, the Goblin list with Watcher in the Water. I don't know, Fiefdom's Filth. That's what I call your list, Sam. And honourable mention to Theodred's Guard, which tried, but eventually I guess limped through and
it was there too.
Got it there for the team. Yeah.
Yeah. It started off with a sprint and then just fizzled.
Once you get rid of the horse, right?
Yeah.
No, memorable moment for the tournament, I think for me, was walking past and slowly watching an incredibly funny thing occur. So you had Shaku from not actually Damien's list, ended up being 2 Wolves of Isengard lists at this tournament.
Incredible meta.
Making Damien meta the meta of New Zealand. So you had a Shaku on the ground at prone, and Boromir and Huron went into it. Huron forgot to feint. Then the Huron went, of course, to cast strikes to kill Shaku, failed all of his strikes to wound Shaku, and of course the special rule kicked in, which meant that Shaku could then strike back and proceeded to kill Huron.
I think in that moment about 50% of the room learnt Shaku's special rule as well.
No one's ever going to forget it. Anyone who was there that day is going to know and fear Shaku forever.
I now know I'm never engaging Shaku.
What do you do? Does he just if you miss strikes, he gets to strike back or something?
Yeah.
Strength forehead.
That's all it takes, apparently.
So it's funny because he failed to win rolling ones as well. So had he fainted, which he could have because Boromir was also in the combat.
It's tough. It's a tough game. It's a tough game.
It's just everything happens in slow-mo, right? Like you're watching that from afar and it's just so comical to watch. You're like, no, surely this couldn't happen. Okay, this is happening. Surely he won't die. Holy crap.
Holy crap.
Speaking of honourable mentions of favourite moments of the tournaments, mine's definitely going to Denny at 2 a.m. doing a beautiful rendition of Wagon Wheel at the karaoke bar.
Could we get a reprisal now, right now?
Yeah, can we put you on the spot?
Absolutely not. I think my favourite part of the tournament was absolutely missing the turn-off to get to the event in front of everyone at like 9 a.m. the next day.
Still intoxicated, many might argue.
Yeah.
Bit concerning. Drink responsibly, kids.
Yeah, no, I was a chariot not pivoting properly there to finish my move.
He's brought it back. Good segue.
Back on topic. Speaking of segues, though, actually, you've used the word segue. I'm going to grab that with both hands and I'm going to say, Guy, tell us about what's coming up. Side by Side with a Friend looks incredibly exciting just based on this incredibly exciting presentation that we all see before us. What is it? What's it about? What's the story?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me here. Long time listener, first time caller.
Are you Harry?
Perhaps.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. Well, it's my second year running Side by Side with a Friend. It's just last year we just did a standard, but I suppose it's still a standard, straight from the match play guide. Just tournament, doubles tournament. Had quite a good turnout last year, and we just played through 5 of the 6 double scenarios from the book. This year, I sort of put a little bit of a twist on it. I'm trying to put more emphasis on theme and sports and painting, so giving hard tournament points for those things. As well, I've mixed the scenarios up as well. I found that the double scenarios, they're not particularly balanced. I think there's only one where you get to deploy both your and your allies' army together, and I don't know, I just felt it's a little bit dissatisfying. It sort of they favor maneuverability sort of disproportionately. So I think I picked 2 of my favorite double scenarios, the ones that seemed the least, I don't know, the least terrible. Yeah. And then 3
Well, I'm sold.
3 of the single scenarios. So hopefully so you can deploy together pretty much.
I mean, the thing is, like, everyone wants to deploy together. The whole reason you play doubles is you come up with these great lists that
exactly.
Side by side with each other.
I found with the split deployment, it would not just be 2 people just race to hem one person to the corner, and it's
a lot of the time last year it felt like 2 separate armies being played.
There was a lot of that, and it just some aspects of those scenarios. I don't know how much thought went into them, but they just weren't. They don't seem like a competitive tournament. Yeah.
No, it's hard to make fun of your ally when they're all the way on the other side of the board making decisions. I want them to be right next to me so I can laugh at their calls right there and then, or their dice rolls right there.
You want to be fighting in the same area and that sort of stuff. I mean,
maneuverability, obviously, if you bring in March, it doesn't matter. But
if you use it anyway, I mean, not everyone's keen to drop it, but
that is a drive reference to yesteryear. But that's okay. I promise you not to use any more in-jokes.
I mean, seeing as March is so critical, we're surely going to see that every list has at least 3 sources of it as we go through this review, surely? Is that everyone expecting that to be the case?
I'm expecting that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay.
Do you want to talk through the 5 scenarios that you did end up selecting?
Oh, you put me on the spot there.
So I think there's the 2 ones from if you don't have it in front of you, I can go off memory whilst you try and find it. The 2 ones that aren't double scenarios, you've got Fog of War and Destroy the Supplies.
Then when there was like the Take and Hold equivalent, which was the doubles one of the maelstrom deployment with 6-inch.
Yeah, I think there's also Take and Hold, and is Clash of Champions, is that the double one?
Yeah,
it's like contest. Yeah.
But I think the thing that the reason I picked that was because it was the one that has the deployment where you deploy together.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And Take and Hold
again. The contest of champion one feels like what double should feel like. You both want to be running around with your big leader, killing stuff. It just it really captures the essence of how double should be, I think.
And you got that little competitive nature as well going on with you and your
totally.
Totally.
I think I've also put a wee couple of bonus points if you manage to get a 12-0, like a perfect game. So I think you get a couple of extra tournament points if you just manage to do that. Yeah.
Sick.
Just a challenge for you guys. Yeah.
A challenge for me, maybe, Guy, but maybe not a challenge for these other 2. Titans of the game. Very cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really hyped for it. I think you guys, we're all looking forward to it, surely, except for Guy, who maybe has to spend more time behind a desk than at the table. But dangers of being a TO.
I mean, he gets to see your smiling face, right, the entire time as the friend that he's going side by side with.
Well,
So I'm sure
it's
it'll be
quite
fine.
nice running a doubles because you can still play, but then just leave your partner to take over when you've
That's true.
got duties. Yeah.
I
Can
mean,
we-
usually what happens is you kind of play, then as soon as one person who's leading it all kind of stuffs up and gives up and walks away, then the other player can go, okay, cool.
He's just
What do I do
tapping
now? Yeah, I'm tapping out.
Let me
I
fix
tried
this.
this, it
Let me
failed.
fix this.
Can we make sure whoever wins the tournament recreates this exact photo of Boromir and Faramir?
Yes,
Yeah,
big time. It's gonna be great. We got the wigs sorted out and everything. It's gonna be dope.
yeah, perfect.
All right, shall we crack on? Should we back into it?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the
That sounds
lists.
good.
All right, sweet as. Let's
For
go.
the first time.
The first time, of course, yes, never seen before. Here we go, folks.
I'm no longer excited to see the lists.
Wow.
This is
Was
so brutal.
This is a fun tournament, wasn't it, Guy?
It wasn't till now. Yeah, it wasn't till now. All right,
You started off with a bang. Yeah.
I might go through this one real quick for us. So we got Rohan and Minas Tirith allied. Rohan is going to have Errol the Young and 8 of his sons. We've got a captain with a horse, heavy armor, and a shield, and a captain with a horse and a shield. There's your march, sorted, done. We've got Minas Tirith bringing a king of men with horse, lance, shield, and heavy armor. He's leading 5 Minas Tirith warriors with shield, 3 Fountain Court Guard with shield, 1 Minas Tirith warrior with shield and spear, and 1 Minas Tirith warrior with shield, spear, and banner. We've got a Knight of the White Tower with 3 Minas Tirith warriors and shields, 2 Minas Tirith warriors with shields and spears, and 1 Fountain Court Guard. And then we have a Treb with an extra crewman. Cherry on the top right there. That's beautiful.
All right. I think before we go into this, let's talk about just how interesting list building is for this tournament. So I'm not sure if we referenced it there, but it's 2 400-point lists, and each of the armies can't actually ally within. So you can't take, for example, Rohan and Lothlorien. If you were one of the team members, you have to take
Yeah, you're right.
Rohan.
Each half has to be from one complete army list, and you can do legendary legions. It's just you have to meet the criteria, obviously, across both 400-point lists. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've kind of referenced it before, just with the double scenarios. It's interesting because you kind of have to make a good list that can survive by itself, but also one that synergizes with your ally. And I actually found this quite an incredibly challenging task. I don't know about anyone
I
else.
struggled a lot where I was definitely looking at it as, hey, let's build an 800-point list and then just divide it in the middle. And it's just so not that. It's so clearly 2 400-point lists that within their own army, you want your banner, you want your march, you want your hero that's going to do something, and then you are literally allying in another 400 points.
Yeah.
And I struggled with it, like in terms of list building, like making lists. I was just making an 800-point list and trying to work it out. I'm like, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. And then just like actually the way the game plays, you need a self-contained army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just on this list here, this is a perfect example of I think armies that can kind of sit by themselves, like that Minas Tirith
Absolutely.
Anvil can just
Yeah,
sit there
literally
and
sitting
survive
Yeah.
forever, and that hammer of the young can either bail, run away, and go towards the Minas Tirith allies, or can actually just engage by itself and do a lot of damage.
And then we get 3 marches in the list.
Yeah,
King
just
of
to make
Men,
sure that
2
we're
captains.
definitely
Just off the bat.
There's 3 marches.
First list,
Bang,
3 marches.
bang.
Boom.
They've all got to have it now. It's really good fun. It's really, really cool. I think all the young can't see him enough.
The theme's definitely there.
The theme's superb.
the field of Calibre.
It's nice to see Earl the Young and Kings of Men, who you never usually see.
It's nice to see the Knight of the White Tower.
That's true. Don't see them.
Yeah. So originally I thought about that going, oh, that's interesting. Why not go for a captain? But obviously the answer there is it gives at least a striking option for the Minas Tirith list, which you otherwise wouldn't have.
Also,
So that's quite a clever
profile.
call there. It is fun.
Well,
Yeah.
It's a fun
the
profile.
eight Sons of Earl is just the perfect number to fit within his 6-inch, what do you call it, +1 attack bubble. So I think that's why that number's been picked. And
Because
the captain's to maximize heroic combats, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it feels like the one sort of discussion within that Rohan list is where that second captain could be dropped for just some Royal Guard or some Rise of Rohan with bows or
I
whatever.
think, but what are you getting? I mean, because how much is that captain? He's about 60 points. You may be dropping him and you're
3
getting
more cav or so.
four or something. Yeah, it's not a lot.
And it's
nothing-
definitely the point of that list is to be this giant hammer, and a captain's going to add a bit more with that.
That's true.
And everyone knows with cav base, it's hard to get that sort of 10th, 11th, 12th model in there.
You're already talking 11 cav. You're not going to get much more value out of the 14th and 15th cav, are you?
Mhm.
Just confirming, because I don't have my books in front of me, but the captains will be stuck at fight 4, right? I mean, they'll go up to strength 5, but they still will be stuck at fight
that's
4.
right.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
I think
nothing
that's
to write home about, is it? It's true.
Are the
Yeah.
Suns fight 5?
No, fight
I
4.
think that
Yeah,
fight 4,
fight
but they get a bonus attack, but they get strength 5 on the charge.
And they've probably got axes.
And they got axes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can piercing up to 6.
That's some serious damage to attacks. Strength 6. That's gnarly. That's really cool.
Mhm.
I think
I mean, the amount of-
it's quite. Sorry, it's quite a low model count list. I think. I don't know what that adds up to, but yeah, it doesn't look. Yeah, it's one of the lower.
It's not huge, but it has such a clear game plan of hey, the trebuchet and the minister are going to shield wall in the corner. If you can't kill them quick enough, you're about to take out a massive.
I mean, what I'm going to find interesting here is just based on the scenario. They might get unlucky, right? Because I find in the double scenarios, there's always one list that wants to be kind of front and center and one list that's kind of coming to the aid. So if you get an awkward situation where all the young is deploying in the center and Ministereth has to come to their rescue, it'll be
They got
quite
the
fun
march.
to watch.
They got the march. That's sorted.
Yeah, the match.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because obviously against the trebuchet, you want to spread your whole army out, but then that's just perfect for the Rohan to capitalize.
The Suns are going to take that out.
They want. They don't want to be on a shield wall. So
yeah.
Yeah, no, very cool.
It's going to absolutely love Contest of Champions. You're the young and a king of men on horse with a lance.
It's also nice to see only 4 fountain courts, which is the exact number that exists. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
That is some niche knowledge. This is
That's
why we
very
have
impressive.
guests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Genuinely.
the number that are on duty. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I'm excited to see a horse moving 12 inches. I think that's one of the young special
Fill her
rules
off.
there.
That's true. Yeah. 12-inch horse.
Well done on horse knowledge, Sam, on getting your name there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what kids call a flex, isn't it?
It's only flex I'm capable of.
Well, all 4 of us know a lot about flexing.
How much faith does Earl have? I don't think I've ever seen
Just the one. I think
the
he's
one.
3-3-1.
I think he's one.
Yeah, I was looking at him earlier on.
Is he
Does he
horse lord?
famously die or something?
He's horse lord. Yeah, horse lord expert rider. Yeah.
There's nothing feels worse than using your one fate on your horse, though, does it?
It's 12-inch horse, buddy. I'm using that fate on the horse.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like it's a 2-minute decision every single time, and deep down you're throwing the fate, but you're like, it never feels good,
The regular horse, I'm saving it, but no, 12-inch move. You got to use that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, very cool list. Big fan.
Very cool.
Yeah. I've probably got no more to add there.
What else to say? We haven't done much about the trebuchet, but that's going to be great fun.
I'll tell you what. I hope the lists get easier.
Let's see. Should we find out? Right. What do we got?
Yeah.
Oh, can I please?
Yes. Do it.
All right. So we've got must be yellow alliance here of Raddy's alliance with Erebor Reclaimed. So in Radagast alliance, we've got Bjorn with 2 Great Eagles. Then in the Erebor Reclaimed list, we've got, I guess, the what do you call that? The bloodline that dies at the Battle of 5 Armies. So you got Thorin Oakenshield, Philly, and Killy with about 11 Iron Hills dwarves. Very cool list.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Got to be a candidate for smallest army.
Got to be, so far at least.
17?
I mean, we've only gone
That's
through
not
2
much.
lists at the moment, so I think it's probably winning small
Safely so far.
What's the theme here? Because Thorin, Philly, and Kelly all die in Battle of
I
5
think
Armies.
that's the
Bjorn
thing.
and the Great
Yeah.
Eagles
Right,
come in
okay.
right at the end and
Very good.
slay,
Well,
depending on the
I think that's
book.
what
Or
they've built it around. Yeah.
Is that what they're going to be aiming for, do you think? To have Thorin, Philly, and Killy
I think
dying?
so. I think
And
they just want
the Eagles
the
coming
whole
just
Erebor
too late.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think it's going to be a recurring thing, seeing this like cliche hammer and anvil list? Like this so clearly is another case of can the Eagles and Bjorn come in and save the other list before it dies? You know,
I can't wait to see
it's
Bjorn
one list
and
once.
Hell yeah.
so I can't wait to see Bjorn, the Great Eagles, in the centre, and then the dwarves with no march having to stumpily make their way across the battlefield to save the beer.
Surely there's a march between the three of them.
I don't know.
I think it's all strike.
Be ominous. Not likely.
It is sort of a natural place to get to with list building and 2 400-point lists, though. Of like, hey, you build a list where you're this giant shield wall and I'm going to build this list of this giant hammer and come and do some damage.
What's the other option? I guess you can't. It's tough to put enough options, I guess, in a 400-point list, especially if you got another 400-point list next to you. Why do a poorly optimized jack of all trades, master of none, 400 points? Why do 2 of those? You know what I mean? You might as well do a specialize and another specialize. It feels like the natural way to do it, doesn't it?
I think this could simply be a stage of I've got to paint an army quickly before the next tournament. I'll take the beer and 2 Eagles. See you there.
Or I'm traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them in your pockets. Done. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it enough anvil? It's got a lot of hammer. Is it enough anvil?
Well, how many dwarves?
It's not moving.
11, 14 in that list, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're what, D8?
D8 when they're all in shield wall formation, and then D8 on the heroes, I'm pretty sure.
Siren's going to be hard to move. Philly and Kelly, are they quite tanky?
I think they're only 2 wounds.
Yeah, 2 wounds, yeah.
Fate.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 might with it, and they strike. And of course, a very, very niche rule that if they use, I'll be very impressed. Where I think that if they're in base contact, they can swap places or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Isn't that like is it the Goblin King? Or
yeah, I think they've got something similar.
Oh, one of those goblins, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What on earth? How did you even know that rule?
Oh, I have no life, George.
Facts. I'm still learning the Shaku rule. The list is very capable of doing a lot of damage, though. Like we talk about it.
I mean,
but there's 3 heroes in there, all with strike, I think, and a lot of might.
Does Bjorn get is the beer a monster? Like, I mean, because he is like
yes, the beer is a monster, and you got a very cool brutal power attack where you can just keep making. It's like a strength 8 or something strike, and if you keep make the wound, then you go to the next one, you go to the next one, you go to the next one, you go to the next one.
Keep going through that one day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He really does have no life.
Does he have a monstrous charge, Bjorn? Mr. No Life?
I think in the new Legendary Legion he'll get that as part of the special rules, but the standard profile,
but not base.
No monstrous charge.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me, George.
One concerning thing may be the lack of like the difference in speed between Bjorn and the Eagles.
Yeah, that's
where your Eagles are able to get there quite quickly, but they won't have the might sort of behind them right away.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bjorn moves 8.
As a beer, he moves 8. Yeah.
As a 6 as a man. So
yeah.
I mean, it seems like the Eagles are going to have plenty of might when they get to the line.
True.
Yeah, they've got Thor and Philly and Kelly. You imagine the Dwarves haven't used that much for the time. Eagles get there.
Only there's a march.
I really appreciate lists that reward rolling the 6, and I feel like this is a list that rewards rolling that 6. There's nothing worse than taking orcs or Morannons or goblins or whatever, and you're getting this, you're wasting 6s in your combats, and then getting trumped by another 6. I like this because 6s matter.
They're going to win every combat.
That's my advice to these players. Practice rolling your 6s.
I'm a little concerned about games where this is going to have to slog it across the board to an army that has shooting, because it has nothing to make you come to it. Besides like a couple of Eagles like flying around hoping to tease you.
I suppose that's your hope, isn't it? That you've got high defense and then the Eagles will be able to sort of harass you.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to do a lot of damage being shot on its way in, but it's just going to take a while.
You're right, but I mean, if your opponent has like a death ball, then it's going to be hard to break into. Yeah.
I mean, it's also a bit of luck and dice game, right? Like I wouldn't want to verse this in the Contest of Champions game.
Hell no.
There's not much to kill.
It's to be a small reoccurring theme of 2 big heroes that can do lots of damage. Is very good in Contest of Champions, believe it or not.
It is crazy. Highball lists also have 3 marches and 2 big heroes. Looking forward to it.
I can take this next one.
Oh.
Ooh, it's a list near and dear to my heart, despite me having run it. So we have a Defenders of Helm Steep Legendary Legion. The first list is Theoden with heavy armor and shield, and he has Helith, 7 warriors plus shield plus throwing spears, and 5 royal guards with throwing spears. Accompanying him is Haldir with an elf bow and heavy armor, Eldor and 5 Galadriel with elf bow. And then our second list is Gimli with 5 royal guard and throwing spears, 2 warriors with throwing spears and shield, 1 warrior with throwing spear, shield and banner. And lastly, Legolas with 5 Galadriel with elf bows, 3 warriors with throwing spears and shields. Very cool.
Very cool.
So much to discuss here. So
A lot
much.
going on.
It's just such a fun list to try to construct. And I say try to construct because it's hard.
I will go down on video saying I think Defenders of Helm's Deep could be the hardest list in the game to build. I've never once felt satisfied building this list because there's so many decisions to make and you constantly feel like you're missing out on this hero and you're constantly wanting this hero, but then you really need this. And the big interesting discussion for me here is like every time I build this list, I sort of stay at night thinking, being like, is it Aragorn or is it Gambling? Is where I'm starting with the list. Those are the two options. You're like, do I want Aragorn for his ongoing might or Gambling for his ongoing might? I like this approach. Just neither. Neither is the answer.
Why not? Neither. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
just props for bringing both Gimli and Legolas like in side by side. Obviously. Full team
Absolutely.
There are extra
Yeah.
VPs for that, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Denny will inform us of a special rule those two have.
Yeah, it's actually going to be relevant, right? Gimli's going to get +1 to wound, and Leggy's going to get his bow fire value better. I think that's what it is. Not actually too certain.
Well said.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if it was a situation where you didn't need to have Theoden as the leader and you could have Gimli and Legolas as the leader. And then when you have Contest of Champions, you also get the extra bonus and Gimli's
Very
like
cool.
+2 to wound or whatever. I'm glad to see Helith and Alder in there as well.
Yeah, that is good actually.
It's fun
I've never
additions.
liked in this Legendary Legion how you have to take Theoden. I just feel like he wasn't the MVP at Helm's Deep.
Yeah, he took a pike to the chest or something when he tried to do something and then bailed straight away.
And then he tells his boys, hold me back, boys, hold me back, boys.
He just kind of despairs, yeah.
The one
It's
time
like
is
that
useful,
one guy who doesn't want to be in the fight, but he's trying to get all his boys to hold him back.
and the one time
Yeah,
he's good is
also-
when he's on that horse. But ironically, you can't even bring him with the horse. You just get bad dad in here.
Yeah.
I just
I
like
mean,
the tactical
really-
decision at that point just to not use Gimli on the front line, but to blow the horn. I'd probably,
Are
I'm doing a bit
we
more than blowing that horn. there.
potentially saying the best Rohan Legion is the one that doesn't have the Theoden tax? Something like Theodrips?
It's
I
got to
mean,
be
the
theatre.
results speak for themselves, and although you're part of the winning team, George, you're heavily carried by 3 other players. So
Hey, 3-0 on the first day, Jenny.
Was
It's
the
just-
second day?
There was a shame there was a day too.
it's because those 2 a.m. wagon wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Rock me, mama.
Anyway, I'm sure
Back to the
the
list at hand.
To the list at hand.
watching us review their list wants us to talk about their list. So I think Haleth gives the bonus to Rohan and Aragon. So that's cool. The Rohan guards will be the same fight, I guess, as the elves, which, yep, nice.
Solid.
So yeah, interesting decision not to take the Aragon. Do we want to go down that rabbit hole and discuss if Aragon was the
I think he's too many points in a 400 list.
He's
isn't he?
expensive.
Yeah.
for
Yeah, I think
the
it's-
other
it's-
400?
I think it's quite cool that they've just got probably consistent 5/5 across the board.
Yeah.
They've got
Mhm.
really good ranged output because of what they got 10 elf bows and Legolas. I mean that's
This list definitely wants
Eldor.
to see like
Haldir.
11 Iron Hills slogging
and
across the
they can get
opposite
30-inch
side.
range as well. if they
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
still. Yeah.
Hell yeah. You got what, 15 elf bow shots and then Eldor as well every turn. They're throwing
Even
spear on every man.
Throwing spears,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're pretty good too. Yes, it's heavy ranged output.
Very heavy.
I quite like the decision. I think in a like traditional sort of match playbook tournament that isn't doubles, Legolas would tend to be the leader over Gimli in that list.
Yeah.
But I think with the nature of doubles, there's that Contest of Champions scenario. There's a bit more maelstrom and Legolas could get ganked a bit. I think Gimli's probably the correct decision as the leader there.
I think he's also got like high defense, you know.
Yeah, exactly. He's a bit more
That's got
safe,
to
you know.
factor into it, yeah.
And you
It
don't
just
have that
doesn't feel
Legolas.
like a.
Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the classic tournament where you're sitting Legolas in the back of the map shooting 30 inches, you know.
Especially in defenders, I feel like
Is there a march in the Gimli Legolas list?
None of those have much. Theoden's
has
got March, yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, they take off that box. At least there's a march.
I mean, do you even need the march if you've got 30-inch bows?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
good.
It seems a bit obsolete at that point.
Range,
30-inch strength 3 bows, yeah.
I think that's what you're asking your opponent is, do you have march?
Yeah, exactly.
15 elfo shots per turn. That's genuinely impressive. Eldor's
Yeah,
longbow.
Yeah.
It's huge.
New conversation point. Haldir or Shaku? Which is the better special rule now that you know of Shaku's special rule?
Still got to be Haldir, surely.
Yeah.
That was my attempt at a joke. There's no need to answer.
Oh, sorry, right. It just wasn't funny, that's all. Sorry, yeah.
It's not like once you get to this list, though, you're safe. You saw a lot of throwing spears.
Yeah. And
D6, fight 5.
Yeah.
I don't want
D6, fight 5.
I don't want to.
And they've got the banner in there as well. They've snuck that in there too.
True that.
Yeah.
And some reasonably solid combat heroes. Yeah, none of them are. Well, that's not great, I guess, but the rest of them.
I think we have a definition of reasonably solid. They're sort of all on that cusp of not being.
Yeah.
Great, but not being pants.
Reasonably, it's very much. Gimli's
good, but the rest of them are definitely on that borderline, little bit suspect.
Yeah.
I think it still does lack mobility.
It does.
Which is
inherent mobility when you have 30-inch bows, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I don't know, for something like destroy the supplies, maybe. Like it's fine if you just want to play a defensive game and just win on, leader kills or breaks or whatever. But it's going to be hard to go on the offensive. And I think there's a couple of other objective games which a little bit of mobility might be nice. But I mean, that's what you can really do with the Legion. Once you decide you want this Legion, I mean, you're locked in.
You can't go that fast. Yeah. No. Can't do it.
I mean, you've still got Theoden with the march to do some late game shenanigans after you've hidden the entire game and just shot your opponent to death.
And you got 14 might.
Very strong list.
Plenty of options there. That's really cool. I think it's really cool.
I still completely applaud the decision just to take away the Aragorn gambling question altogether.
Yeah.
It's given me many restless nights.
This might be a weird thing, but I'll be really interested to see a tally count at the end of it, which I guess they will be keeping a tally, right? Because they got Gimli and Legolas. But what actually kills more? Is it going to be the individual kind of medium tier heroes, or is it just going to be that D6 fight 5 shield wall that slowly just whittles down your opponent?
40 men, and they're basically all fight 5. Really,
some kind of projectile.
And D6.
Yeah.
Is it 40?
Yeah, 38. I think 39. That's four reasonably solid heroes.
There we go. Once again, if don't take Aragorn and you get 40 troops.
I think it's working for them. It really is.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Rest easy now.
For the tournament as well. Very cool.
Really good theme. Yeah, we've sold the answer, George. You're no longer the best list builder I know. These people have you covered. They've cracked it.
Wait till you see me and Denny's masterpiece.
Okay, should we go next, Joey? See if we can find it.
On.
All right. And on to our next list after a seamless transition.
I really wish your PowerPoint had like fluttering in lists, like classic animations.
Zoom, checkers.
Next time I'll do it. I thought about it, but I resisted the urge. We'll pay like 2002.
Can you do them with the word art? Early 2000s.
It's really
Microsoft paperclip in the corner.
Yes. Next time.
Oh,
you better believe it. Clippy's coming back. It looks like you're trying to write an army list.
Have you thought about it much?
Yeah, Guy, read this list out.
To please you at hand. It's a Mordor list. First force is led by Kamal on Felbeast, with 8 Morannons with shield and 7 Morannons with shield and spear. The next warband is Kardouche, leading 6 trackers and 1 warg rider with throwing spear and shield. And the second force is led by the Mouth of Sauron on armored horse,
Of
with
course.
six Black Numenorians, 4 Morannons with shield and spear, 1 Morannon with shield and spear and banner, and 1 Warg rider with throwing spear and shield. The next warband has Musgir leading 6 Black Numenorians and 6 Morannons with shield and spear.
What a fun, themey list.
What a
this is.
great list.
miserable collection of
What
units.
a piece of art.
If you can't tell at home, this list was prepared by 2 of our very own, who seem just incredibly smug about it too. Not ashamed as I would be.
Just on that, it was not
some
prepared by 2 of our
self-sourcing.
very own. It was prepared by 1 of our very own, with 1 other gentleman just naysaying the entire time. So I enjoy George. I enjoy his 2 a.m. renditions of Taylor Swift's "Shake It Off" whilst we're out on the town, and just generally our chat is fine. But we've come close to breaking point when it's on this list.
I thought he was going to say close to breaking up.
Yeah.
I'd be heartbroken.
You put up with a lot, Denny. You put up with a lot.
Oh my
The
god!
word hero
I
is
would,
thrown around a lot.
yeah, I would fire him
Lord
lists,
Reddings.
and I will just
When
get
he
it.
says
No.
fire, he means
No.
like probably 30 a day.
Yeah, just straight up no. Like George just sulking like a small child saying, "No, I want a foul beast. No, I want a foul beast. No, I want a foul beast."
Denny sort of took the reins on designing the list, and I had one condition. I wanted a foul beast. He called me a dissatisfied child when he kept preparing lists without a foul beast.
Listen, I love this as much as anyone does. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy having your therapy sessions broadcast live to the entire world. But is it worth maybe considering whether we talk about what's on the list rather than the fraught process of creating it?
No, the thing is that people are only going to watch this for their lists, right? And this is our list, so it's just
So you're the
let's,
only
get
one
back,
watching this
let's,
section.
let's get back to therapy.
yeah,
Can we put this
exactly.
in the extras section on the DVD, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
Director's
I'll
cut
go.
only,
I'll give the thought process here.
along with Guy abandoning his seat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
smart.
I had to get a charger. Yeah,
Classic.
Like,
it's
It's
a
like a
break
suit-
from the professionalism that we've seen.
It's clearly Guy O'Malley's first time on a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not
I
coming
mean, he's not
back.
actually wearing pants, is he? It's just
Sorry, are some of us wearing pants? I don't know. Is that the expectation that was set?
All right, next list.
Tell us about it. Tell us what you think
No,
of it.
okay.
I think
Thought process
this is
here
just feral.
was
Justify
there
yourselves.
Yeah.
Is that Billy Madison sketch where Adam Sandler draws a duck and paints it blue, and the teacher's like, "Why is it blue?" And he's like, "I've never seen a blue duck. I wanted to see a blue duck, so I made a blue duck." That's what this list is. This is a bunch of tools that George and I haven't actually played with, at least at a tournament. And we saw an opportunity to go with it, and we went with it. It might look disgusting, but it's supposed to be fun.
It's
Who for?
genuinely 4 heroes we have never played before.
Who's going to enjoy this?
It's like Mordor Outcast that we've always wanted to use and never had the chance to use. You may see a
Interesting to
theme
see
amongst
trackers.
the.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like once you get card Earth trackers seem to be
Well
because it
known
is Cardiff.
little
Yeah.
posse. Yeah.
Mordor
Other than
outcast,
the
like
panel
Cameron on
I
a
think
fell
just-
beast. That's a real original one.
We wanted a foul beast.
It's full cast fundamentally. It looks incredibly strong. It's still got, I'm going to try and count in a second, some ungodly number of like 50 odd models. Like,
We definitely couldn't have afforded to lose 2 models to get a Warg Rider, could we, Denny?
So the bickering of the grumpy old man here in the background there is George wanted 2 Warg Riders in his army, but the budget only allowed for 1, and that's all he got. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure you don't even have 2 Warg Riders lying around that you could use anyway. It'll be a mad dash for you to paint on the Friday night and then forget it anyway. So I've done you a favour.
He's called you out.
He's cool,
that's an
man.
actual fact. Yeah. That's pretty spot on.
I've genuinely painted up 2 for this list just to bring the second one along to troll Denny. It's gonna be my little like
On the
mascot
sideline.
on the side.
Just
Yeah,
watching.
That's
watching.
good.
there'll be that scenario where we don't have that one little
You
bit of
just
speed and
pick 'em up every half hour.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if I had one of these? Yeah. Classic.
But in all
Interesting,
serious,
yeah, it's
it is a ridiculous amount of models. It's like
50 models. It is 50 models. Yeah.
Oh, is
it's
it really? That's
unintentionally
huge.
a ridiculous
It's
amount of models.
enormous. And I think that's all like strength 4, defense 6, flight 4, terror front. You know, I mean, like it's not just hordes either. It's
So
a lot of
who's
serious stuff.
Who's taking what? I mean,
So I'm taking Mouth of Sauron and the new spellcaster because I
yeah.
refuse to learn the new names, so he will always be the new spellcaster
We've
until I
never,
guess the next new
we've never once
spellcaster.
used his name. I've literally only seen his name for the first time today
Yeah.
on the
I
screen.
actually thought he was the one that started with R, but
I thought he was called Other Mortal Spellcaster.
that's the one,
What-
not
what is-
Kardouche.
What does he have? Does he has like
So that is a
uh,
great question. I plan to print
Is
out
that
the profile and
strength, is
carry it with me.
He's got what? He's got transfix and wither. Is that right?
And Drain Courage.
And drain
yeah.
courage. That's right. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you've just
and-
got 3 Drain Courage casters in this list, is that right?
And a Harbinger, just in case we haven't drained enough courage.
And
Yes,
what,
yeah.
You
14
do have
Terra models.
the classic
Cool.
issue of I have the Harbinger with no Terra and you have Terra with no Harbinger.
I suppose he does move 12 and the Harbinger
Yeah.
is 12.
Yeah,
So
come help me
you've
out.
got-
Kardouche
you've
can
got to-
Fury save you guys while you come and chill with my ranks. Yeah.
Wait, no,
I
I,
suppose-
want to
I
be
suppose-
the hammer.
I suppose that the Kamal segment is quite slow moving. Apart from
Got it.
obviously Kamal. Yeah.
It's really
That's
hurtful
true.
when other people talk about your list like this, isn't it?
yeah.
We established the
Um,
mouth has March.
Yeah, it's got March.
Yeah, that's right. So 2 marches he got there.
Just
I
to get to
suppose,
that
yeah.
gate in the scene, he had to march, so it made sense.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think I think it's still good though, isn't it? I mean, it's
It's
just
extremely good.
Like, yeah, it is a
It's
good list, don't
really
get me wrong.
good.
It's not like we've just said Mortal Outcast and put our thing into 4 random profiles. There's definitely a bit of thought gone into it.
Hey, the New Zealand culture is to be self-deprecating, and that's what we're doing.
You're doing a
For
great
once,
job,
though,
that guys.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to rely on
The
Kamal
most
getting quite a
self-deprecating.
few
Smug.
kills in contests because
I think you should
mouth
deprecate
on
more,
a
to be
horse.
Should probably. Yeah,
I
mouth
can't
on a
wait to
horse
see
is not
Leggy just
exactly
one-shot
gonna-
Carmel. George failed both his fate rolls, and then we're down 170 points. While Gimli gets to go +1 wounds because Leggy's got the kill.
I think it's a nice list. I mean, you've hoarded out the infantry, you've got the courage draining things, you've got a decent combat hero in Kamal, a couple of objective takers. Like you've got all the bases covered. A couple of wee tricks.
It's interesting
That's
to hear
good
someone
list.
else say we've hoarded out the infantry, potentially to the point where we could have afforded to drop 2 models for a second Woke Rider.
I think the only thing, you don't have big hard hitting heroes potentially. Kamal can do some damage.
It's going to
He's
be
also-
That's a fair
grind.
point.
It can
It's
only grind.
the way that I roll dice, it doesn't matter how strong my heroes are.
I feel like
Yeah.
every game's going to time as well,
Yeah, there's going to be no
It's-
fast
it's-
win. This is going to be
Yeah.
grind. You're going to only be ground, and you're only going to grind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, George,
it's hard-
can we
it's
remember
hard-
the army bonus? Because I'm totally going to forget that.
Yeah,
I don't think
true.
I've ever played a game with Mortal where I've remembered the army bonus.
Well, I think the army bonus is particularly good with the Black Numenorians because it takes them
Courage
to
5.
Courage 5, which is
Mhm.
I suppose. Oh, you've already got a Fury though, don't you? So I suppose.
Yeah, but we have
Isn't
Fury
it-
with the Moranans, so it's nice
Just
to
the
get
rerolling
Courage 5
ones,
also.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
does Kardouche have Fury? Is that right?
And fire, flame burst or whatever it is, which we should
Fireball,
probably look at the
flame
rules for that.
burst.
Okay. No, I think it's a nice list, and I think you guys know that. So, yeah.
Are well aware. They are well aware.
It's
Yeah.
nice to get a B+ grade from Guy for the sleepless nights that it took for me to draft this.
B plus.
Hear that, George? That's appreciation. Hear that?
Did George kick you out of bed?
All right. No,
All
we're not
I
going
wanted
back to
was
therapy.
2
We're
fell
not going back
beasts.
to therapy. What it was 2 fell beasts. Let's get, guys. We've been really professional so far. Let's just try and a little bit longer.
Who gets the family Bible?
Only who gets the family fell beast? That's the real question. All right.
He's brought
Next
it
up.
back. He's brought it back.
Next up, on topic. Master of the Segway. Lurtz's Scouts. Right, yeah, we have army number 1 has Lurtz himself. It's in the name. With 5 Uruk Scouts and shield. 4 Uruk Scouts with bow and 1 Uruk Scout with a banner and shield. Then we got Ugluk with 4 Scouts and shield and 3 Scouts and bow, and then a drummer. Army number 2, we have Malhur with 4 Scouts and a shield, 4 Scouts with bows, and 1 Scout with shield and banner. An Uruk Scout captain with a shield and 3 Scouts with shield, 2 Scouts with bow, and Uruk Scout captain with a 2-handed weapon, and then 3 Uruk Scouts with shield, 2 Uruk Scouts with bows. A lot of scouts, folks.
I
Nice.
feel like we just had a big fall from grace here, George.
What's the model count on this?
Yeah,
Is it-
I was just trying to work out the model count,
Lots.
but I was genuinely about my 5th attempt at counting, and I'm still not there. 10, 9. Let's all work it out together.
42, I think.
carry the one.
I love
going
the
with
troll
42.
not to have like full warband sizes, so you're left trying to figure odd numbers.
I mean, so just to clarify, it came to me just with 17 rooks with bow, 17 rooks. So I put the warbands up myself. So that's trolls on me.
Oh, so we did this to ourselves. Thanks.
Yeah. No, I did this to you. You didn't do it to yourselves. I did this to you. I have the power.
Someone really took the needing 3 marches to the next level, right?
And a drum.
Yeah, exactly. It's take
a lot of marches, a drum, 8-inch movements. This man is
exactly.
getting around the field pretty damn quick.
Yeah, I think there's really good ranged output with the bows. Obviously, maneuverability is great. I think the double banner, like a banner on each side, is a really good idea, especially without the spear support.
True. No spears.
How many bows is it? 12, 15?
Too many.
Is it
Too many.
15 plus lures?
Plus, they can move what? 4 inches?
15 plus lurts. Yeah, 4 inches and shoot.
Plus a drum?
Unless you want to do drum and a march at the same time, in which case I can't do that math, but it's more than 4. More than a bear. Let's go around there.
It's more than 5-inch dwarves.
My biggest criticism is probably the turned weapon on the scout captain, but I just know that's because they got that model and
Yeah, they've got the
It's
model
a
from it.
glorious
It's
model,
fine.
isn't
you
it?
have to. You
That's
have to
never a
sign
flaw
it.
for me. That is.
It's forgiven straight away. But no, I think
once you've got the goods, flaunt them.
So remind me, alerts can once per game throw his shield at an infantry model and then it's knocked prone or something. Oh, that's silence. That's beautiful. Good. We did the prep. Good stuff, team.
Yes.
What is he? He
I
doesn't
thought
even
you
get
announced
defense
you
from the
had no
shield, does
life,
he?
Jenny. You're meant to know this.
I don't have my books in front of me.
No,
Hang on,
I
I've
think
got it here. Hang on.
I think the rule is he throws the shield, but he always keeps the shield defense
Once per
bonus,
game.
but he
He does.
can
Yeah.
but he can no longer shoot.
I
that's
don't
right.
think he ever got the defense bonus because he has a bow.
That's the irrelevant part to the rule, right? I just want to know what it actually does.
Well,
Is it
he
knock
only
it
has the
prone? Is
shield.
it
The shield
knocks
only
it
is
prone.
for the shielding special rule.
Strength 4 hit. Any model hit is not prone.
no way to resist it, eh?
No. If you hit, not
Far
prone.
out.
Donk.
Ooh.
That's the challenge for the tournament, I guess, is to get a good kill or not
Donk.
prone with that. Yeah.
Donk.
Mm.
Glad we have 2 Falbeats in our army then, Denny.
George, it hurts. I don't like.
This is really cool. This is great fun. I think this is cool.
Yeah.
The amount of maneuverability is insane. I think me moving further than most armies and shooting with 15 bows at the same time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't want to play this and destroy the supplies.
That's
That's for sure.
phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. They built it right. I think. Yeah.
Built it really well.
And I'm loving that everyone's been bang on for theme. Very
Yes,
cool
yeah.
list.
100%.
This fellow's going to run 7 inches and then shoot you. Thanks very much. This is
It's
so
sort
cool.
I'm sort of surprised by the model count of a lot of lists. It's a little bit higher than what I would have thought.
Mm.
I think just the nature of 2 400 points lists means you are a little bit more hero inclined,
Yeah.
That you wouldn't get as much troops. But we've seen lists well into the 40s and some 50.
50. With more to come, I think. It's just
Again, it's another list without the mega heroes leading it. Alerts is your big hitter, and then Moorher is your secondary.
Yeah.
They're still very good heroes.
yeah, and they've still managed to fit 5 of them in there. It's 5. These boys are pretty solid dudes, each on their own.
That's true. Yeah, it's 5 here. I know what you're saying, but I just mean
Oh, you're right. You're definitely right. No one's big.
But Moorher is not a hard target to take out if you roll
True.
the dice and unlucky use your leader, sort of type thing. But I mean, there's not a lot you can do about that. But
I mean,
Well,
my only comment, and I guess it speaks volumes. What's it? Your tears say more than any evidence could ever say. Is that I don't want to look at this list anymore. It's making me physically ill.
I've got a question for you guys. If you're playing Fog of War against this list, where are you looking for the hero you're looking to kill? Because I I presume
Drummer.
the case
Drummer.
Yeah.
Gaia and his fog of war is you can't pick each list
True that.
leader.
Well, I think because at the start of each scenario, in the double scenario, you roll like
roll.
it's a 50-50
Oh, that's right.
with
For like a prime leader.
But whether because each 400-point force has a leader, and so you
Right.
just flip a
So
coin, D3
one
it,
force counts as like your lead force, doesn't it? And its leader is the one that's
So you could pick
Yeah.
like Force B's leader.
Yeah, so you have different leaders, like
Nasty.
different games, the type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you picking the drummer? Because like he does not seem easy to get to.
What looks easy to get to in this list, George?
Well, if you have bows, I think you pick the drummer
got bows,
because he's
you pick the
one
drummer.
wound. Yeah,
Surely
one
you
What
wound,
if you
don't,
had
one
like-
fate.
4 spellcasters that can actually do things?
Maybe a
pick whoever you like then.
scout captain. You know, they're going to want to get stuck in or something.
This is
Yeah,
the
thank
big
you.
Two-handed
brain
weapon
play, by
captain.
the way. We're going to verse them in Fog of War. They're going to choose to save the drummer. We're actually going to go for Ugluk.
Lurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
4D chess.
Yes.
Oh, very cool list. I love the thing. It's such
Really
a fun
cool.
list.
Yeah, no, great.
Sorry, can I just point out the reason why I call it Gertz is I'm pretty sure that spelling with Lurtz is very similar, George. So that's why.
It's actually
Done.
not similar. There's a whole
It is in
extra
my mind.
vowel in there. There is a whole extra
All
vowel.
extra vowel and one for your attack as well.
Can't wait to bicker with you on Saturday.
All right. Next up, we got what a list.
Oh, yes.
What a list. This
Bird bath.
bird.
Bird bath.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. We've got Radagast Alliance with Gwai here, Windlord, one Great Eagle, and
Right.
Radagast himself, unadorned, unspoiled. What I say before you leave the house in the morning, take one thing off. That's what Radagast's done today. Then we've got
Did you,
Galadriel. Sorry,
Did you forget to type the war gear for Radagast? Or
Yeah, I feel like they're missing the sleigh.
was it Coco
or
Chanel?
something.
Take one thing
Let,
off.
let him
Take
read it
one
out
thing
and then
off.
sleep
Let me read
him.
the list out.
This is more fun, okay?
Number 2, we've got Galadriel with the mirror. 5 Galathrim Guard, 5 Galathrim with shield spears, 4 Galathrim with elf bows, and then 2, count them, 2 Wood Elf Sentinels.
How embarrassing.
Just like,
You have
can
a
I-
heavy object and nothing in that list to Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. That's where you're wrong, my young friend.
is that also a list with 4 spellcasters?
That is a list with effectively 4 spellcasters. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Give or take.
I'd rather
I'd
have
like
a
to get
sentinel
in
than
there
a
and
new spellcaster.
I'd like to get in there and congratulate you on your pronunciation of Galathrim as well.
Thank you very much. No one appreciates
He
that.
was,
I really-
he
thank you,
was
guys.
searching for it. He was searching for that.
I was searching for
Yeah.
information. I got it. Thank you. I mean, so yeah, this is Bird Bath. Gwai here's going to fly around with the bath, the mirror, and he's going to be permanently at 3 fate. And you're going to find it quite difficult to deal with him.
Full disclaimer: this is my and Sam's list for the tournament. It's a fun list. Would you say that? We've been musing about the Bird Bath for a wee while and we want to try it out. And,
Yeah.
And the Radagast is an awkward addition, I think, to the Gwai here and the one Great Eagle. What is
I
he
think
adding exactly?
I think, look,
Renew.
I think he's adding renew. Is basically what he's adding. He's adding more tankiness, and he's also 150 points where the Great Eagle would be only 100 points. So he's filling an awkward gap that would otherwise be.
With the list
in the
also
list.
seeing the
Eagle,
ability
yeah.
to regenerate fate, and you decided to go for a renew.
I just thought, let's make Gwai here even more unpleasant to kill. And I think we've achieved that by the inclusion of Radagast, frankly.
Let's not lie here. Essentially, the list is Lothlorien sets up, and then Radagast Alliance sets up, and Gwai goes to meet Lothlorien, and Radagast just hides somewhere in the corner for the rest of the game and chills because there's no way his stumpy little legs are going to get there in time.
Excuse me. Come on now.
When you guys set up, do you just tell the opponent sort of we'll fast forward 20 minutes while Gwai flies across the board to pick up the mirror, and then we'll start the game?
Well, this is why Guy chose all the scenarios where we could set up together because of this,
Yeah,
this exact
exactly,
list we
yeah.
wanted to bring.
We picked this list and then I picked the scenarios.
Yeah.
I like that the TO chose an uncomplicated list that didn't have essentially 4 spellcasters to use, just so he could focus on running the tournament. Good stuff.
I mean, he's effectively losing his mirror, so
His mirror.
It's
No,
a
Guy,
gift to
he's
Sam.
playing the Guy here. He's got the simple
Oh.
list.
Yeah.
yeah, that seems fitting to me, Guy.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't feel like we've maximized the mirror here, have we? Because the mirror it's just going to give Guay here the fate rolls. Is it
Does
fate
it
rolls?
affect Galadriel?
And Radagast and
It
Galadriel.
refreshes his fate. It will affect Galadriel. It will affect Radagast, yeah.
What's the range?
It's kind of always been
6 inches? 3 inches?
Oh,
as
that'll
the
be-
user of the list, you guys should probably figure that out.
Matter because Guahi's carrying it around, so it'll be where it needs to be.
I
It
thought
doesn't
you
matter.
knew all this stuff. Jimmy.
It's got effectively a 15-inch
I do
range.
know.
I hope
It
you
is,
guys have made a model of Guy carrying a mirror.
Oh yeah, it's been converted lovingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really has.
Then you go to Bunnings and buy a little bird bath.
I got a miniature train.
6
bird
inches.
bath. Yeah,
nice.
HO
I mean,
scale.
No one actually owns a Guahia or Great Eagle, right? They just have those $2 shop balancing birds that you put on your finger. Just chuck that on a base.
Who'd buy one, eh? It's a waste of time. I mean, it's an 18-inch range effectively on this mirror, is what I'm saying. We got Renew, we got the mirror, we got lots of 3 fat models, some with rings.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
Indestructible. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. All right. Next up, we have.
Are there sportsmanship scores, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes,
But,
there are. Yeah.
We're not going to get any points in that. And we've accepted that.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
Speaking of
George,
which,
we're not the filthiest list so far.
What are we looking at? I can date this one.
Go for it.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know where to start. The first list we have is Khazad-dûm, and obviously led by Durin, King of Khazad-dûm. We have 10 Hearthguard and 3 Ironguard, and a Ballista. And then the obvious list to accompany that, we have Arnor. Arvidu, Last King of Arnor, 14 Warriors of Arnor, Warrior with a Banner. Then we have Melbeth, 6 Warriors of Arnor, and 6 Rangers of Arnor with Spears.
far out.
One. List just writes itself, doesn't it?
27. What's that, like 30 to about 33, 34 troops? I don't remember how many are in the Ballista, but
I think we're just all praying these lists don't ever meet up.
no.
They're scary on their
sorry.
own, but my God, when they join up.
Yeah, and then I guess you take the total model count and then you plus it by what? 25, 30% based on Malbeth's Fury saves. So
Just the inability
even
to
though
get
they
an
go
half
that-
guard.
yeah.
Oh my God. And it's got a Ballista to make
Is it
come through.
46 models? No. Can't be.
The 3 Iron Guard is interesting. What
6,
makes you get
yeah.
what makes you get to 10 Hearthguard and be like, I'm stopping here?
Literal models that you own.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Iron Guard
actually,
are
that's a
very
good
cool
point,
models. I really like that.
Yeah.
3 Iron Guard screams of I won a tournament back in 2017 and won a blister.
Well, I'm getting Hobbit Sheriffs. You guys getting Iron Cards in your blisters.
It's a classic death ball, though, isn't it? I mean, they've obviously got the
Hell yeah.
the 15 dwarves up the front, and then the Warriors of Arnor are a nice profile to have in behind. Obviously, they're cheap. They're a good stat line.
Great set line.
And importantly, they all come with spears.
They do.
They do.
What do you guys reckon about the Melbeth Seer? Do you think is that the right inclusion?
I
So
can
over
never
a-
think of a list where you don't take Malbeth.
Is
You're
there
taking Arnold.
is there a
Well,
march
is it
with
a
Arvidu
5-up
Melwith?
save? Yeah, well,
5-up save.
My only thing was maybe a march, but you're right. 5-up, like 1 and 3 wounds ignoring is actually really.
Arnold
huge.
captains are so glorious, like bang for their buck, though, aren't they? They're such a great profile.
Yeah, because my only concern is it's a great death ball, and obviously you've got the ballista to bring and 6 archers to bring the enemy to you, but it lacks mobility, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Is there a march?
It lacks no march.
Do
No.
you need the mobility?
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Do you
Well,
if I'm-
if the ballista gets dealt to, I mean that's sort of,
it.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
even if it
If
does,
you're dealing with the ballista, you've engaged lines though, right? So
if I'm looking at that, I'm saying, is it worth more to me to keep the hell away from that 45 model line of strength 4, 3 attack, disaster mayhem? Is the ballista and 6 ranges enough to make you want to run into that hideous death ball?
What other option do you have?
Yeah, sometimes you don't have
what
another
can
option.
man do?
I suppose you have another
Maybe-
option, but I mean, most
Maybe
of the
let's
lists we've
say
seen so far
hypothetically,
have another option.
maybe hypothetically, if you only had 6 orc trackers, you're not going to have another option, and you have to get stuck in.
It wouldn't be a problem if you had a second fell beast, though, would it?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys want bickering? Because this is how you get bickering.
It just seems like with 4 transfixes, you should hopefully be able to, compel transfixes.
Getting back to the list at hand, it is a great death ball. I think like the half guard.
It's a phenomenal death ball.
Yeah, because what are they? Burly, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
with bodyguard as well. They're always going to fight for. You got the spears behind.
If you're designing your perfect death ball, this is up there for what you're looking for, right? It's like everything you want.
Fantastic death ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
High defense, lots of numbers, good fight value, the bodyguard, and I think enough to make to encourage the engagement.
It's yellow, isn't it?
It is yellow.
But
because I think
really,
obviously your half guard are fearless, but I think you lose your fearless bubble from up. So
that is an army bonus.
Not that it doesn't really matter too much for charging terrifying stuff, because obviously you want your Khazards up the front. But late game or
if things go wrong,
holders, things go awry. Yeah.
Sorry, what's that? I thought that the army bonus was you reroll 1s to wound.
For Arnor, we mean. Arnor's
you're talking about Arnor. Sorry, yeah. Yes, you're right.
Obviously, the Warriors of Arnor are a great profile, but they've got 2
C2.
Yeah. Big issue.
But no, I think it's good. Yeah, it's great.
Just don't break.
Looking at it now, don't break. Looking at it now, I would probably swap out some of those warriors for rangers. Just thinking about using them for spears mostly anyway. You haven't got your bow limit.
Oh, I think you definitely have the Hobbit archers, right?
The long lost profile.
What am I saying?
Yeah, you could be right, because it's not like anyone's going to stop and try and have a shooting battle with you, because if you're up against the ballista. Yeah.
I think maybe the thinking is that Arvidui Warband wants to get on the move pretty quickly to get over to Durham, and the Malbeth Warband is a bit more comfortable cruising.
I think
you don't have the Malbeth bonus though. Don't you want the Malbeth bonus for wounds?
It looks like the Arvidui Warband is supposed to slot in behind the Duran, and then the Malbeth the Seer maybe is self-contained.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Arvidui, by not having bows, he's a bit more comfy just slogging over to Duran as quickly as possible. Yeah. And Malbeth, even if Malbeth joins in with him, that sort of other 12-man Warband's happy a bit sitting off to the side holding objectives.
Hmm.
No, it's a scary list.
Legit. Shall we tick on?
Yeah,
sounds good.
Once again, same list. And on to our next list. Thranduil's Halls. I'm taking this one because you guys missed the sound of my voice. We have Thranduil with an elk, an extra blade, heavy armor, and a circlet. A lot of war gear. 6 Mirkwood Elves with shields, 6 Mirkwood Elves with shields and spears, and 5 Mirkwood Elves with bows. And then army number 2, we have Legolas with 8 Mirkwood Rangers, and Tauriel with a bow, and 7 Mirkwood Rangers.
How embarrassing that you think Mirkwood Elves come with spears, Sam.
Sorry, I want to apologise to everybody. Whatever pointy sticks that Mirkwood Elves come with, because they're special.
How embarrassing Thranduil has 4 more pieces of war gear than your Radagast.
I'm already thinking of changing the Radagast for something else now. Thanks for undermining my confidence. Let's talk about this. This has 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24 elf bow shots per turn.
Yeah, actually, the model count's up there as well, isn't it? It's some sort of mid-30s, isn't it?
It's hitting that sort of magic number you want
17,
for Halls, right? That mid-30s.
35, yeah, 35.
Does anyone else get the feeling one list is going to be significantly more fun to play than the other? Like, I really want to be the guy with Legolas and Tauriel and 15 bows.
Hell yeah, that would be so
just
cool.
Watching the other person die and you're like, yeah, I don't plan on marching in. I'm just going to keep shooting.
So can you actually just hurry up and die so I can start shooting at things?
Yeah, like it's a whole different type of hammer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So bring Thranduil over here just in case, but the rest of them just
leave them to die. Leave them to die.
Just make sure it can still hit the spear support.
Yeah, Glaive.
24 shots though, folks.
It's
Sounds like George at 2 a.m. at the karaoke.
Rock me, mama.
Inside jokes, great.
Classic. This thing is going to outshoot everything we've seen so far. Probably everything we've seen so far put together, frankly.
I'm
This
not
team's
sure
really
about
outshoot.
our list, George.
24, yeah. I mean, if you're shooting back, you're going to get some kills against the Rangers, though, aren't you?
Can't see the
It's
Rangers, though, can
definitely-
you?
If you can
definitely
see
out-
them.
It's definitely out shooting a dwarf ballista and 6 rangers, that's for sure.
It's
Ah,
definitely
Like
outshooting
Kardashian.
6 trackers, yeah.
Yeah. Is it out shooting 1 trebuchet? Food for thought.
Yes.
It is by a mile, right?
It's by a
It was
mile.
Bad question.
16 strength 3 hits per turn for free. Like, that's
Yeah.
shooting
And
a tree.
Legolas will
Can we
snipe
edit
and
that last
crew.
question out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing if I'm
It
honest.
really is.
The Strangel Warband is very cool because when you're building 400 point things, you list, you go into this thing of like, am I taking 2 sort of middling heroes? Am I taking 2 of your Theodens, your Legolas, your total sort of point range? Or you just go the complete opposite direction and say, screw it, I'm taking Thranduil
Big
and
Daddy.
all the other gear. I'm taking one big
Monster.
hero and then filling out 1 warband. And this is the perfect way to do it. If you're doing that, Thranduil's the one you want. He's got a bubble for his troops. He's got all the gadgets you need.
Phenomenal hero.
Are we going to
It's-
get into that elk horse foot discussion? Or it's about
No, I was going to make an even more important call, which was I've been calling this. I didn't know this list was called Thranduil's Halls. I've been calling it Mirkwood this entire time.
I think older edition it was Mirkwood, right?
Mirkwood's a cooler name for it, I think.
Yeah.
I'd say Elrond's Halls, dear. You know? Galadriel's
That'd
Halls.
be a Nick Krabappel joke if anyone gets that.
Randall.
I
Nice.
choose
Yeah.
not to
That was
acknowledge your
good. I
Simpsons
spotted that.
references.
That was really good stuff.
Uh,
It went
I-
over my head, and I'm proud of that. You know?
There's not a lot that gets over that head as well.
It's
Yeah.
not, so I'm amazed anyone can even see over that head, let alone get over it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Does it also like catch people out that there's elves with bows in the first warband, the first list?
I have. I didn't see that.
Like you see the 15 on this side, and you're like, oh my god, 15 plus Torio plus Legolas, and then you're like, wait, what? There's 5 more.
Still half a dozen over there. Yeah.
I think the sleeper in this is Toriel, because I mean, she, like, with her is it Blade Mistress? She can definitely just carve through troops. I mean, yeah, especially because I mean, there's not a lot of supercharged heroes, and she can strike, and obviously, I think she's going to be MVP in that list. Yeah.
Yeah, the supercharged heroes really are any elf within 3 inches of Thranduil, right?
It's true there.
Five with the
That
plus
whole-
ones.
That whole line of Mirkwood elves with armor are going to be.
We've been talking a little bit
Supercharged.
about lists with lack of mobility though, and this is definitely another situation where that's going to
True
be the
that.
case. But it
And
seems
as
like
an
a lot of these lists that say, hey, I don't have 3 marches, but I have 20 plus bows, or I have ballistas, or I have like their answer to not having mobility.
It's hard
is
to argue
just,
with that.
You have to come to me.
Mm.
And it is Mirkwood range is invisible as well. So there's going to be so many troops you can't even see. There'll be 15 bows,
Mhm.
20 shots coming at you. You can't even shoot them back. You have to go to them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where they are.
And just remember, like Legolas is pretty good with a bow as well.
I have heard that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those ranges that, I mean, they're going to go one of 2 ways, aren't they? They're obviously glass hammers. So,
What's the terrain like there, guy?
Yeah.
yet to be determined. Yeah. Yeah.
Should I have bought a
think
mimic? Is what I'm asking.
it seems like a list they've obviously taken the theme, or just because they felt like a fun list, but it could be a bit of a sleeper.
Definitely.
There's painting
Absolutely.
points, right? So it's going to look stunning.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to look stunning.
Yeah. No, very cool. I'm a big fan of Legolas as the additional leader there as well. Like Thranduil's going to do all your killing in contests,
Yeah.
so you don't
Yeah.
need Legolas to be
And
carving
it
up.
means you can just throw Tario into combat and not care if she takes the
Yeah,
wound,
you're
right?
not too fast. He's the perfect example of that safe leader. And when you don't have to worry about contests because Thranduil's going to kill half an army on his own, you're cruising.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Like 2 ballistas and a bomb.
Pretty much.
Good fun. Really, really cool. I love that so much. But yeah,
Cool.
On the elk.
Like it.
the elk. It's all in the elk, genuinely. How cool's an elk? It's a crap model.
Survives a lot.
Ooh, now you've been outnumbered, boys and girls. We've got Angmar
my.
here. Who wants to read this one out?
I can take it.
Can take it. Cool.
Yeah. I don't read too good.
You
So
fail
first list-
English.
First list we have is Birder with 6 Orc Warriors with shield, 6 Warriors with shield and spear, 1 Orc Warrior with the shield, spear, and banner, and 1 Wild Warg. Then we have an Angmar Orc Captain with shield and a warg, 3 Orc Warriors with shield and spear, 2 Orc Warriors with shield, and then a third warband of a Barrow-Wight, 3 Orc Warriors shield with shield and spear, and 2 Orc Warriors with a shield. I get completely caught out when we see a third warband. It's been pretty rare.
That's true.
Next list we have a Witch King of Angmar, who is 315-3, I believe, on an armored horse, and no crown.
With a crown, sorry, that's my bad. I missed
With a
it.
crown, it's
Yeah.
Good.
I don't think you can actually take him without a crown, right? Like,
Yeah, I think it's just built in.
It's mad, yeah.
just illegal if you do it.
We have 6 Orc Warriors with a shield and probably a spear, I'm assuming. 6 Orc Warriors with a shield, and 3 Dead Marsh Spectres, and 1 Orc Warrior with a shield, spear, and banner.
And they have a cave troll.
And they have a cave troll. How many models is that?
45, I think.
More than I care to count.
45, including Birder, another cave troll.
2 trolls. Yeah, good lord.
More casters.
I'm really excited to see Birder on the field. It's so often overshadowed by that like stock standard Angmar list we've become accustomed to: Gulliver, Witch King, All Captain, and a Barrow-Wight.
It's nice to see the cave troll in there as well. So they've got the 2 monsters.
Really cool.
And again, we talk about one big leader, Witch King of Angmar with a crown and 315-3 and armored horses. Another good example of if you're only taking one warband, may as well be a Witch King fully kitted. And you know what? I've probably got a bunch of points to spare. Add in a cave troll.
Whatever, George, you're thinking, I want to put my Witch King on a wraith. Get rid of that cave troll. On a foul beast, sorry. Get rid of that cave troll. Give my foul beast. No, very cool. I'm excited to see Birder go nuts, and the person, remember, to use his special ability of being a 6-inch banner for the rest of the combat if he kills a multi-wound hero or a monster. Yeah.
How did you know
is
that?
It a thing? Yeah, what is
that's a thing.
I heard the reason he has no life earlier.
There's actually a whole book full of these rules. I don't know if you guys have encountered it. It tells you what all the models do. It's pretty crazy.
Genuinely, never heard of that.
But I'll still forget the mortal army bonus. Don't you worry, George.
It's good to see the Wild Warg edition.
I
like him.
We snipe.
I hope he's named. I feel like he needs to be named.
I like the addition of the 3 Dead Marsh Spectres just to add like a little bit of fun to the list. Like they're really cool models.
Yeah.
They're very good. You know, they add a lot to that warband.
And between 3 Dead Marsh Spectres and the Witch King and a Barrow-Wight, there's a fair bit of, jiggery pokery that can go on.
The Witch King compelling and 3 Dead Marsh Spectres doing their thing.
Because
there's a lot of shenanigans there.
A lot of shenanigans
within 3 inches
of the... Within 3 inches, yeah.
I think the issue is you only have 2. Yeah, you only have 2
Spirit heroes.
Spirit heroes, yeah. So it's actually not a huge tier line, which is maybe where you start looking at dropping cave troll.
The terrifying thing is the 45 all.
Well, I think you could get a 12-inch or 12-man line, couldn't you? I mean, 3 either side.
You just want to make sure you're very good at spacing out your Barrow-Wight and Witch King and having them in sort of opposite corners, and it's nice to see them in the different lists. So at least each list has its own tier bubble.
I think that the Dead Marsh Spectres also have like Blades of the Dead, don't they? So that's actually a little bit of killing power as well.
Mm-hmm. Aren't they only like fight 1 or 2 or something? Is that there?
Fight 2, I'm pretty sure.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how overly concerned about killing power you are when you've got a cave troll, you've got a bird.
Yeah, you're right.
You've got a Witch King supporting the 2 models.
Yeah,
the Angmar All Captain can do work.
The All Captain's overrated. Underrated. Sorry, he can do
a Warg. Yeah.
The all-important march as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually an interesting point. There is just the sheer amount of might that you're getting in an Angmar list, which is inherently very difficult to get that level of might there.
It's only 8.
I mean, it's only 8 points, but
that's a lot for Angmar.
It's more. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's cool. You might actually be able to call heroic moves.
This is another double banner list too. One banner on each side. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's what I guess the whole part of being self-contained is You probably want a banner in each list.
And it does do a really good job, actually, of probably the best job of any list I've seen so far of being two, self-contained units with a lot of good options on both sides. A lot of great options on both sides.
I mean, is the banner overkill when you have a 6-inch banner after Birdo kills? We joke. Very strong. I like it. It's. I think doing an 800-point AML list, like George said, like you got a stock standard list, but now that you got to break it up into 2 400 lists, it's actually pretty difficult, and they've done very well to make two very, very strong
I think the other thing
individual
is
lists.
You also want to be having fun with your 400 half, and I think I wouldn't mind playing with
That's
either
very
of these
true.
halves.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, if I was looking at your list, being like, which one looks more fun, I couldn't tell you the answer. They both have such cool little gadgets.
Just my curiosity, do you think there's an argument for finding the extra 35 points it would take to give that Witch King wings?
Yeah, get rid of a banner and maybe a couple of troops.
You could probably drop a couple of dead marsh spectres, maybe.
Even the spectres, a couple of spectres.
I like 3.
Potentially, if you destroy the suppliers
two's still
in
good.
the scenario pool, it could affect your decision a bit, because obviously having some wings is very good in that scenario.
Right, with the Witch King, it's like less so with other race, but with the Witch King, because you already got the 3 attacks. With
because you're taking the crown.
It's less important.
Fair enough.
And you're already pretty comfy in Contest of Champions with Birder and a Witch King, aren't you?
You'd hope so.
Because you're nullifying their hero.
You'd hope so.
Yeah. I mean, really, that Barrow Right's just going to paralyze something. Bird or a Cave Troll's going to go in and say, good night.
The living hell out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bird's going to get his banner at the end of that, which is of course the ultimate. That's the key. That's the aim of the game. Alrighty, what's next, folks? We got Uglook Scouts. This is phenomenal. Different scouts, folks.
Have you actually copy and pasted one of the Orc Captain warbands twice? Sam?
You'd think so, eh? You would think there was an accident. It was deliberate copy and pasting. Alrighty, folks. We got Uglook, 4 scouts with shields, 4 scouts with bows, 3 unadorned scouts, and a scout with a banner. And then we got Mohur with 4 scouts with shields, 4 scouts with bows, and 4 plain scouts. And then a Uruk drummer. On the other side, we have, get rid of this, Grishnak with 5 orcs with shields, 5 orcs with spears, 1 orc with a 2-handed weapon, and 1 orc with a banner. An orc captain with a shield, 5 orcs with shields, 5 orcs with spears, an orc with a 2-handed weapon, and an orc with a banner. And then an orc captain with a shield, 5 orcs with shields, 5 orcs with spears, and 1 orc with a 2-handed weapon.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, I mean, you said plain Uruk Scouts for Mahu's list, and then unendured Uruk Scouts for Ugluk's list. It was a bit of inconsistent.
Unadorned, I think I said, actually. So check your facts.
I didn't think Damien was coming to this tournament.
Damien.
How do we have Damien medalist?
This is savage.
This is genuinely the most terrifying list I've seen yet. I think this is hands down the strongest list we've seen. Does anyone want to dare do a tally of how many models that is?
I'm scanning now. I think it's 65. That's hideous.
I know what you're thinking. Hideous. Oh, well, at least the Orc Warriors are only strength 3 and they don't get +1 whenever there's an Auric around.
That's what I was thinking, actually.
Oh, thank God.
At least there's no way they could get +2 to wound, right?
No, we're fine. At least the mobility, is a little bit limited there because they've gone all infantry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, this is
toxic. Possibly my favorite Britney song. It's true. Yeah. That's maybe the next podcast we just rank Britney songs.
Hey Jenny, could you inform me? Does Krishnak get a special fun rule?
No, I can't recall there actually. Is it backstabbers or something? Backstabbers maybe.
That does sound right. I know he gets sort of something vaguely
I think he gets one thing. I mean, the only hero they're not taking here is Snaga, who I think gets that rule where he gets to ignore heroic moves or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's all irrelevant because they're not taking it.
I'm glad we've talked about it.
If Sam doesn't tell me that's backstabbers, I'm going to cry.
Noteworthy triple banner is that just the nature of I've got 65
65
models?
models. I think you can't blame
A
a man for winning a
3-inch banner
third
doesn't
banner.
quite cut it.
No.
For me, it's personally, I can't be bothered painting
How can
another
they
one
get
6 models.
65 and 3 banners? I mean, it's
Outrageous, eh?
I
That-
genuinely think the third banner is I've run out of ways to fill these warbands.
Yeah, the warbands are full.
I need to add something.
They genuinely are actually. There's one slot in that last warband on the right-hand side.
Oh my lord.
What do you do? What can men do against such reckless hate, boys and girls?
I think what men can do is have 23 elf bows or something.
There's
Damn good
a
start.
pub at this event, right? Like we can just call the game.
oh yeah,
Once-
open bar. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
cool. That's great.
My God, it's strong, isn't it?
And I like
How
it too.
much?
It's
How
not just
much might?
respect,
3,
man.
6, 9,
Yeah.
13. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's also just a very cool. Is it the first time we've seen this Legion in a tournament in a while? It's bang on theme. It's like perfect side by side with a friend. You both have these two unique armies that want to work well together. It's S tier for cool side by side theme. Maybe we just have to hope the people playing it are sort of
Backstabbers.
arseholes and lose a lot of sports points. Might be our only path to victory.
Well, we're not going to get on painting points, George. So yeah.
This is great.
Maybe they ran out of time painting 65 models. So
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah,
it's an undertaking.
I see two clear paths to victory here.
Like proxying a pepper shaker for an Uruk drum or something like that. So
Tio.
Oh,
yeah, it's not as bad as
my lord!
Oh my lord.
What was Krishnak's special, by the way? Did we find that
It
out?
was Backstabbers.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear you say that.
How does he get?
He's a mortal hero, folks, if you're looking.
Yeah, so
Why
to
do
the
you
two
get
people that have
backstabbers
blasted
when he
this
gets-
long,
I don't know, actually.
Doesn't
I guess
he
'cause he
he
followed
was
them around
stabbed in the
film,
back, I
didn't he?
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
he was kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
I
it's
like the
strike as well.
inclusion
There you
of
go.
the two-handed
He
weapons.
does have strike.
Does he have strike?
though.
Well, he's
That's
striking
true.
from a fight 4 or something, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he fight 4?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
It's
I
cool to
guess-
see the orc warbands broken down correctly. Like, there's nothing you would change about those warbands. Maybe you're adding a shield to a few spearmen, dropping a model because you definitely don't have a shortage of them. But the
Yeah.
one two-handed weapon adds a bit of spice to each warband.
Yeah.
They like 90% of the games. I just feel like you don't use it, and then that 10% of games you do use it is just so crucial.
The shot. The shots amount. Is there a lot there?
Eight bows?
8
Plus
bows.
lips? No, there's no lips.
No, that's good luck.
Can the orcs take bows in the Legion?
Must
Yeah,
be
That's a
able
good
to, sure.
question.
But would you ever put them on the orcs? I don't think you do.
I
No.
don't think
I
you
guess
do.
you.
I think they've got enough there, like honesty bows, but it's just
Yeah.
not it. They've not gone for a
Yeah.
shooting.
If they said there's 10 more orc bows in there, would you feel much more scared of the shooting, really? I don't think you would.
Oh, my train of thought was going, would I rather strike up with the fight for Grishnak into my opponent, or would I rather just chuck a model and just try and shoot everything to death? But if it's only 8 bows, I guess you've got to.
Are you maybe adding
Right.
sort of two bows per orc warband just to sit in objectives or something?
I
Yeah.
feel like you've probably got enough, bodies on the table to keep Grishnak out of harm's way. And also, if you can get the orcs and the Uruks in the same combat, you just get, killing power off your warriors.
Insane killing power.
There's something very reassuring about taking 65 models, knowing there's no Lords of Battle, isn't there?
Mm.
There's just something reassuring about taking 65 models.
Yeah,
Full stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, true that.
I
love
guess we
this.
should talk about Grishnak may suffer a little bit in contest.
He's not a particularly frightening leader.
That neither of them you're too worried about carving through your
No,
lines.
that's true.
Yeah, very true. I mean, and it also, I guess the other thing is that if you can separate the two, even though that is a lot of orcs, it's still not as scary without
They lose
those
a
scouts
lot.
there to give that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's very
I
true.
would love to know the percentage of so the orc list is 36 models? No, 38? 10, 30.
27, I think.
One
Yeah.
half.
Anyway,
Ugh.
yeah. Like the percentage of overall list that's bigger than just on its own. like does that one 400-point list outnumber 70% of the list we've seen?
Half list we've seen, yeah, genuinely.
Yeah. It's truly terrifying. And then the other list is so quick; it just can get to where it needs to be.
It's
So
going to get to the Orcs. Yeah, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Not going to be up one turn. Whew.
no, absolutely
Love it.
deadly, brutal.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
Nice.
by a mile the strongest list we've seen.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't want to verse it.
And I like
No.
it too, which is it's tough to be both strong and I like it. But that's
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
really like it.
Mm.
It's really, really like it. It's a cool list.
Yeah,
Like I said,
folks.
I'm hoping for assholes losing sportsmanship points and people that have been too
I'm
lazy to
sure
paint
you're
65.
lovely people. I'm sure you are lovely people.
I'm kidding. I suspect I know who's running it, and they are in fact lovely, lovely people.
No, I
It's a
think a lot of
shame, eh?
players that run scouts are bad people. I'm sure there's some good people.
Would
But,
anyone who's a good person run this list? Yeah, some of them I assume are good people. Folks, other Minister and Rohan Legion to Alliance to cap us off tonight.
Who wants to
Guys,
take the
do you
Guy,
reins?
wanna-
give it to
do you
us.
wanna
Yeah,
do the honors
take it
there?
home.
Yeah, sure. The first force, Boromir, captain of the White Tower, with shield, banner, and horse, leading
Of
5
course.
Fountain Court
Was
with shield. Second warband is Ingold, leading 7 Minas Tirith warriors with shield and spear. And then Force 2, Rohan, led by Aemir with shield and horse,
Of course.
with 5 riders of Rohan, 2 Royal Guard with horses. Can you hold your commentary, please?
I'm going to mute you genuinely.
I hate the
Yeah.
fact that I had to see him laughing at his own joke.
Well, no one else is gonna laugh.
Joke.
And the second warband is Erkenbrand with horse and 5 riders of Rohan and 2 Royal Guard with horse.
How hard was it to
You're
hold
hearing
the
it,
last
aren't
one?
you? You're
You're
hearing
going to
it.
hear it. It's already happening. Can I just say
You
with this
don't
one
even have to say
very
it.
quickly that once again, I made these warbands. I just split them up myself because it wasn't clear which how I split. So don't fault the
okay.
fella for his warband assignments.
Yeah.
First thing I'd like to critique is I think the warbands are a bit oddly placed.
I like symmetry. I'm a simple man.
It definitely feels like when you're making 400-point lists,
Yeah, you
and
got there.
thank you. It's a side-by-side tournament, and you're like, I want to take Hammer and Anvil. We're better to go to the Minister at the Rohan.
Genuinely.
It just feels like that.
It's literally where we started.
That's what they're for.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
In full
It seems
circle.
like such a cool list to do doubles for. Very cool hero choices, like 3 heroes you don't see too often, like Emir you see a little bit in the Legion. Outside of that, not a whole lot. Erkenbrand you don't tend to see much of, and I don't see a lot of Ingold.
Ingold,
either,
that's
so
true.
It's nice to see
Yeah.
3 new heroes.
I
I
just
think
respect AMA with that armored horse. That's cool.
Erkenbrand only ever gets taken in the Legion. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's a reason to take him otherwise, is there, with so many options? Yeah.
Does Erkenbrand in the Paths Legion? Is he
In the Gandalf Legendary Legion.
Oh, okay, true. Right. Oh, of course, the Rohan list is pretty much the Legion, but it can't be the
I
Legion.
think it
right?
was initially. Yeah.
No, cool. Classic Mother like Hammer and Anvil, that Boromir.
Yeah, it feels like
Minister of Warriors just wants to be D7 holding up as long as possible.
it feels like
There's a little bit of a hammer himself.
yeah, I was
isn't
going to say the Anvil's got more hammer and the Hammer's got less hammer. It feels like to me.
he?
A slight shift, you know what I mean?
Dual
The
hammers a bit.
Hammer's got more Anvil and the Anvil's got more hammer.
What year is it? 4 years playing this game. I've never versed an Ingold. So I kind of hope I verse this.
He's not 4 years old though, right?
That's true.
He's
I
new.
think
He's
it's
not
No,
another
4 years me playing
supplement,
this game,
yeah.
like tournaments and what I've never versed an Ingold before.
Right. Yeah, but I mean the
But he hasn't been
profile
around that whole
came
time
out-
though.
Yeah.
Gondor
No, I
War.
think it dropped pretty
2019?
soon
It was
after,
pretty
yeah.
early into me starting this. Yeah.
No.
Anyway, that'll
Anyway.
be cool.
A fight forward striking hero. Like what's not to love there? It's
I mean, the thing is, he doesn't need to be fight 4. You chuck a Fountain Court with Boromir around and he pops up to fight 5.
True that.
And when you want to be an anvil, what better than, hey, I don't back away.
Yeah.
Not
And
backing
the
away.
D7
Which
shield order
must
isn't
mean he
backing
can't be
off.
trapped, right?
Don't start.
Hey,
Don't
so many
start.
triggers.
Incredible. Great chat.
I genuinely am loving seeing these lists, which are like embracing the sports and theme of the tournament. 2 side-by-side lists, and this is just to a T. That
Oh, it's another dig at me there, George. That's okay.
I mean, just look at the Rohan there. It's we've got 16 Kev there, haven't we? As opposed to, I think we said last time that right at the start, the 11 Kev we felt like was probably about maximum efficiency in terms of getting a big cavalry base into a line of infantry. These guys got 16 plus another one on the other side with the Boromir.
Something feels a little bit different.
We've seen the shooting meta since then, so I mean, obviously you're going to lose a couple to.
True that.
Something also feels a little bit different in the sense that Earl encourages you to be around Earl. It's one fighting formation. Both Emir and Erkenbrand are sort of, I imagine it's going to play like 2 smaller fighting contingents there than one.
Yeah, it's like a 3 list, a 3 army list rather than
exactly.
List. I mean, what I'm thinking is I do not want to verse this in Contest of Champions, right? Like, there's not much for you to kill to get the VPs, and they've got Boromir and Boromir running around.
You're really going to be slaving away trying to kill the rider's horses, aren't you?
Is this the Fury saves out, George?
Is this possibly the strongest 2 leading hero combo that we've seen so far?
Maybe we've seen Gwaihir and Galadriel, though. I mean,
in terms of Clash of Champions, maybe there's Bjorn and Thorin, but other than that, I feel like these 2 are probably, and even that.
We've seen Kamal on Felbeast and a Witch King on a Felbeast, right?
Yeah, but in terms of like the pairing,
how can I mute him? Yeah.
I think it probably is like the highest output. Even Earl the Young and the King of Men give it a run for its money.
I can Birder and Witch King's pretty up.
That's pretty up there as well. Maybe that's the only one that competes to that, I think. Yeah. In terms of Clash of Champions.
But no, definitely it's loving Clash of Champions.
Because loving Clash of Champions.
It doesn't have that much that it's giving up as well. And I like the addition of the 10 Riders of Rohan to give a little bit of bow.
That's true.
As well.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it's enough
to that is good. That is nice, yeah. And hopefully you can rely on the anvil to provide you the high fight.
Yeah, exactly. No, very cool list. I think it's the perfect list to wrap us up.
It really is. Nice. Full circle. I designed it this way specifically to come back to that theme.
Well, you can edit the circle of life just playing as the exit and roll credits. That'd be great.
Lovely PowerPoint, Sam. Love your work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
It's beautiful.
It took me it took me days to put this together. Days. I mean, that's all she wrote, folks. That's our lists for the tournament. What do we think? What's the final thoughts for the hammer and anvil meta? Obviously, also a reasonable amount of shooting, perhaps more than some of us were ready for. But other than that, what do we reckon?
A lot more Uglat scouts than what I would have liked.
Yeah, the strongest list there, I reckon, the scouts list.
Yeah. No,
really solid, eh?
It was quite a diverse set of lists as well. Like there were very few double ups and similar lists. Like even this Minister of the Rohan one is very different from our other Minister of the Rohan.
That's true.
She has none of the same heroes.
I think people have leaned into theme like a lot as well, which is nice. Yeah.
Mostly, I think, yeah. Bird bath, that's a famous theme.
Famous
theme.
Well, when Boromir and Erkenbrand met together on the fields of the
No, it's cool. I'm really looking forward to this week, and it's going to be fun to play some doubles games.
Great fun.
Play some scenarios I'm not used to,
I'm just looking forward to watching you guys bicker like an old married couple the entire time.
I'm going to take a tally of times he bitched about the lack of Warg Riders and times he bitched about the one foul beast, and every single time you owe me an extra chip in my Slovakia or whatever I'm going to get from Christchurch.
All the wonders of the Orient, Christchurch. Incredible food culture. It's going to be great fun. Actually, Christchurch tournament is good too. I think it's always it's a chill vibe, but also the players are also incredibly high quality. It's going to be great fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to go and paint my miniatures.
Wait, you have to paint the miniatures? Excuse me?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's too late to get my money back?
Sam's got to go off and paint his 64.
As if you ever
Ericsson.
paid, Sam. As if you ever paid to begin with.
I haven't paid or painted, so there we go. The joke's on you guys. What
I
fraud.
feel like everyone's kind of zoned out now and is definitely tuned off. So
Yeah, true.
thanks,
It
Mum,
is.
for watching.
Enjoying
It's
ourselves.
far through.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Harry.
Yeah,
Yes,
you made this fun.
Harry is like and subscribe. Smash that like button and that subscribe button, yo.
Maybe we should quickly clarify. Harry is one of our 3 subscribers, and
I like how you clarify an hour and a half into the video.
well, it's
Yeah.
just for Harry, who's going to be our only person made it to the end.
Yeah. I'm just imagining Harry just smashing out like hundreds of models as he paints with this in
I
the
just
background.
love that he doesn't have a last name. He'll
Could be
forever
anybody,
just be
eh?
Harry. It could be anybody.
Just Harry.
All right. Let me go to bed.
We
Get
have
me
fun.
outta
All
here.
right. Been a pleasure, guys. Been genuinely a good time. I'm looking forward to this tournament very much. Looking forward to seeing you all.
I will see you folks this
Yeah, you
weekend.
too.
Catch you all later.
Thank you for coming, guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Good fun. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.